Celtic lost their 100% Premiership record at the weekend. Good to have the situation under control against Inverness. Alan Muir, the referee, sounds the game into action. Celtic's quest for 100 major honours continues. Just one short of the century milestone. Will they hit it by winning the Betfred Cup from the wee county? James Forrest on the front foot early on, and what a chance it was. Tom Rogic tried to slot it home, and he's been in marvellous form.
It's nice combination play. First of all from Rogic on the half turn, Forrest driving, little touch back to Rogic, comfortable save in the end for Neil Parry.
You've got to play him in a central attacking midfield position. Kieran Tierney likes to get high up. Rogic to unsettle the Alloa defence. It's forward by Scott Taggart.
Brilliant, really cool defence.
Set up recently. Tierney doesn't seem to need a rest at all. Gets for the angle pass for Armstrong. Roberts and Lustig. Dembele not quite on the target.
Yes, well worked. Celtic dominant in these early few minutes. That little overload from Roberts onto Lustig, and Dembele just couldn't get the timing on his jump.
7 goals, 9 meetings in all, 9 wins for Celtic, including 3 in the League Cup. Patrick Roberts. He had Lustig offering support.
Just late there. Roberts on Robertson. Goes to ground, a free kick.
Andy Griffiths, an interested spectator.
Initially fouled Forrest there. That should have been a free kick, and as he gets back up, gets fouled again there.
He's kettled those defeats against Heart of Midlothian. The other against Morton, September 2013. And Tierney seeing his progress halted by Taggart.
And that's just the power and the pace and the prowess of Kieran Tierney getting forward. You know, I think that's always the difference when you step up a level.
Andy Graham. Kieran Tierney getting into his stride. He gave it a fair old whack. Good take by Parry.
Well, you think it's coming, don't you? Celtic dominant. Alloa camped on the edge of the box, in the box, with good hands.
Well, last night, Rangers and Morton making it through. Patrick Roberts, and the switch of play to Mikael Lustig. There's Dembele, but he couldn't beat Parry. He covered up in time, Neil Parry.
And yet again, it's down the outside. Look at Lustig. His intent is always to get around Patrick Roberts. He knows he wants to go inside. It's a good pullback. I think Dembele will be disappointed. He's found a little bit of space. He'll feel like he should have scored. A big let off for Alloa.
Played in by Kieran Tierney. He's looking for Dembele. Rogic.
I think 2 big chances. I think Dembele peels away well. Should do better with the header. Needs to be stronger. And Rogic, well, you fancy him there. He needs to get that left.
Just moving out of his position, and Spence elects to test Craig Gordon. Well, why not?
I'll tell you what, he's looked sharp all evening. I think 6 goals in his last 6 games, but he looks to peel away, and that's a decent strike. That should have been a goal kick.
Players' reactions, I always think, says a lot.
Corner given. Armstrong takes all the way to the back post. And we had aerial targets in there, including Lustig. Roberts. Mikael Lustig. Tom Rogic. Straight at Parry. Didn't have to worry too much about that Rogic effort.
Well, we've seen him strike them this season plenty of times. He could be disappointed trying to find that far corner.
500 Alloa supporters in attendance tonight. Corner to our right. There's Roberts doing it on his own. Patrick Roberts lays it off to Rogic. Gibson a lash. Around 500 Alloa supporters in a tight corner to our right. There's Roberts doing it on his own. Patrick Roberts lays it off to Rogic. Gibson a lash. Well, they haven't had the shooting boots on really so far, Celtic.
But Roberts there just wondered their Goodwin did well to pull out from that challenge. As it comes back, Rogic leaning back. He's got to work the goalkeeper.
Turn as a substitute against Inverness at the weekend. James Forrest. He's kept it in. And Dembele. But it just wouldn't go in for Celtic. Forrest. After Dembele.
I think Neil Parry.
Never thought about the shot, but it's with James Forrest. Tierney. Dembele this time.
Poor defending. Forrest nicks it back. And then Parry goes for that shot from Dembele. But on the floor, I think he reacts really well. Then after, I think Dembele was really wasteful here. Just wants a clean contact and he scuffs it with his left foot. Big chances, Stephen.
Yeah, well,
coming onto his game.
There's Tierney. Speculative efforts. Rattling the woodwork. Very direct and positive from Kieran Tierney.
Well, we saw him at the weekend. A stunning strike against the bar, and the same again. More difficult technique.
Debut back in March.
That's a tremendous strike, isn't it, from Tierney? Really difficult technique. Just trying to get that dip on the ball. I think Neil Parry was beaten.
Strong had a bit of work to do. He takes up his position.
Strong searching for a little bit of space. I think Dembele's trying to run down the side. He wants to run in behind, but there's no space. Alloa are playing so deep. Once Alloa open up, because if not, then it becomes congested.
Tom Rogic. His radar.
It's a poor shot. He's not balanced when he strikes it and slices it well wide. Brendan Rodgers.
Defensively, they've had to work hard too, so credit to him up to now.
Tierney. He's going to win the corner.
Really was. To Corley out of the game. He wins the corner. Celtic
coming into the move for Celtic. Rogic. Lustig, that low ball. Forrest! Just is not happening for Celtic in front of goal.
Wasteful. Once again, this is a golden chance for James Forrest. It's a decent first touch, elects to hit it with the outside of his right foot. He's just off target, gets it all wrong. Just has to hit the target from first touch there. Bounces up, then it's away from him, and he snatches at it with his weaker left foot.
He just didn't look comfortable, did he? You know, even from about Jack's target after 15 minutes of still being in the game. I think the target now is to get to half-time. You know, get to half-time, not conceding, be 0-0, and then they can really regroup and have a go in the second half. So far, 5 more minutes to hold on.
Jim Goodwin and Greg Spence as Gordon comes all the way out. He took the gamble. Now, Alan Muir, what's he going to do? Yellow card. Here's the answer to that question. It has been produced. Free kick to Alloa in a position of menace.
I said at the start of the programme, Celtic have had 2 iffy goalkeepers, and that is an appalling challenge from Craig Gordon. I think that's endangering an opponent, and I think he's lucky to stay on the pitch, Stephen.
I think it's threatening a career, and never mind.
Can Alloa cash in here? Waters takes it, and the header was a respectable one from Ben Gordon.
He was just stretching, wasn't he, Ben Gordon? Trying to direct the header, I think back into the far corner. Gets it on target.
Could and perhaps should have been sent off in the dying embers of the first half. Celtic have made a change at the beginning of the second. Scott Sinclair on in place of Patrick Roberts. Early touch for Kieran Tierney, who was pretty serious refereeing errors.
I think there's been some massive incompetence from referees.
Here's Sinclair, and he's veered into the centre. Oh, Scott Sinclair! Almost an immediate impact off the bench.
Well, we talk about the impact Scott Sinclair has had since he's put on the hoop shirt for Celtic. He's closer, driving inside on his favoured right foot, and that wasn't far away at all.
It was just
Hashimovic, plenty of space. He fluffs his lines in front of goal. Not the first.
That man just in the picture there, Brendan Rodgers. He'll won that first goal. It was a good shift initially.
well, turning that final pass, that final ball, the thing that everybody remembers and the thing that unlocks doors and gets you goals and gets you chances. Poor final pass by Rugger.
Midfield. Forrest and Armstrong. Sinclair! Is it just one of those nights for Celtic? Good heavens.
Just how many chances does Celtic need? And this is absolutely gilt-edged. Sinclair on his favoured right foot just gets underneath it. It's a big miss, another big miss. Pitch little dummy there from Armstrong out wide. Just crowded out. Good defending again from Andy Graham.
Now, did Alloa push too many players forward at the set piece? Armstrong for Rogic. Taggart has to do the defending. Rogic and Dembele's in. Parry. Excellent goalkeeping.
Wow. Yeah, that is a stunning save. Really stands up big. Celtic get an overload. It's a well-weighted pass into Dembele's path, and he just stays big, doesn't he?
They've gone past the hour mark. Scott Sinclair. And it's been the story for Celtic all night, Steve.
Well, it's just one after another. Brown should score. It's a free header. It's unopposed. Just hit the target. It's another miss. Another big miss.
He hits it with his right foot. Kieran Tierney was always going that little bit wide of the target.
Yeah, I'd like to see him. And he shifts it inside onto his right foot. Try and find that far corner. Feed it into that far post. He drags it.
He's been one of Celtic's biggest. It's 2 or 3 times, Derek, from set plays where they've really overhit it. You know, we've seen Parry.
There's Rogic for Celtic. Can they open up Alloa this time? Moussa Dembele. He's keeping his balance. Down goes Rogic. Well, it's gone the other way against Celtic. And Tom Rogic.
Decision from the referee. You can normally tell, Stephen said earlier, by the players' reactions. I wonder whether Jim Goodwin caught him on the foot, but he goes down too easily. I think the referee's quite, absolutely good decision.
Armstrong. Tierney. Right across the face of goal. And Ben Gordon behind for a midway point of the second half now.
Well, Stephen, I'll tell you about taking up good positions. He takes up a good position. That near.
A long way away from that. Sinclair was missed by a couple of players. Alloa rather got away with it. Now it's Stuart Armstrong trying to get it to bend and dip. Wrong side of the post.
And I think the one thing we can label against Celtic shooting from distance, Derek, it hasn't been good enough. You know, a lot of their attempts have came from
Christie will come on. Substitute appearance of the campaign for the talented Christie. What it was from Forrest. Rogic, and again tries to fire it towards goal for Tom Rogic.
How many times tonight has Tom Rogic been in and around that 18-yard box and just not hit the target? The story of his evening.
From Celtic, you know, James Forrester's on one touchline, Scott Sinclair on the other touchline. Make the game as wide as you can. Sinclair wants to go inside, Armstrong's inside, Christie's inside.
For himself. It's going the wrong way, wasn't it? Taggart. Sinclair doing
I think it's just frustration from Scott Sinclair. There's no space for him to go into. He's trying to find a pass. They're giving the ball away, but I think for sheer guts and determination, Alloa have been absolutely.
We might have a bit of difficulty with it as well, accustomed as we are. Now, Lustig, here's Forrest. Dembele in the centre, James Forrest! And Neil Parry pushes it away.
Really suffering from fatigue. And that's a decent save. It's a save, I think. You'd expect the goalkeeper.
Pushing it to Forrest. Waters for company. James Forrest, shooting position. Parry for the umpteenth time. Superb.
Yeah, top night. I don't think Parry should be beaten from there. He parries that one round the post. Good goalkeeping. Strong left hand.
Now they've all got to chase back the Alloa players. James Forrest looking menacing. Still with Forrest, creating the angle! Marvellous goal by James Forrest! Celtic break the deadlock. And the Hoops look good now for a place in the semi-finals.
And Alloa's bravery, Alloa's courage, Alloa's naivety in some ways to press Celtic up the pitch. And they're countered. Wonderful ball across the field to James Forrest. And then he's still got a lot to do, hasn't he? Just toes it past one or two defenders and hits it with his weaker left foot. Back across Parry. Right into the corner. He had to be exact to beat Parry tonight. And you'd think that would be that, but tremendous from James Forrest.
Well, they've rode their luck time and time again. They've relied on their goalkeeper time and time, and the impact he's had at Celtic. This is totally out of character. Just snatches at the shot. Would he have been better feeding it across the goal or taking as a
Dembele on his own work. How about that for the clinching goal? Moussa Dembele. His love affair with Celtic Park continues. All 8 Celtic goals on home soil.
Simply stunning. Good turn, takes the defender out of the game. That little shift there on his right foot, and he hammers it into that far corner, into the roof of the net. Parry absolutely no chance. Game over.
I think he's had a frustrating night. Alloa have sat deep. There's been no space for him to work in. He's been man-marked, he's been challenged, he's been kicked. The game is now eventually opened up, and that's when he comes into his own.
That second goal, absolutely stunning. That little shift, always trying to get it back on his favoured right foot. Straight down the keeper's throat.
The final is over. Celtic had to sweat a bit, but Brendan Rodgers' team through to the semi-finals.